Resignation by Matthew Arnold to Fausta. First published 1849. Reprinted 1855. To die be given us or attain, fierce work it were to do again. So pilgrims bound for Mecca prayed at burning noon. So warriors said, scarfed with the cross, who watched the miles of dust that wreathed their struggling files down Lydian mountains. So when snows round Alpine summits eddying rose, the Goth bound Romewards, so the Hun crouched on his saddle when the sun went lurid down o'er flooded plains, through which the groaning Danube strains to the drear Euxine. So pray all whom labours self-ordained enthrall, because they to themselves propose on this side the all-common close, a goal which, gained, may give repose. So pray they, and to stand again where they stood once, to them were pain. Pain to thread back and to renew past straits and currents long steered through. But milder natures and more free, whom an unblamed serenity hath fleed from passions and the state of struggle, these necessitate, whom schooling of the stubborn mind hath made, or birth hath found resigned. These mourn not that their goings pay obedience to the passing day. These claim not every laughing hour for handmaid to their striding power, each in their turn, with torch upreared to await their march, and when appeared through the cold gloom with measured race, to usher for a destined space her own sweet errands all foregone, the too imperious traveller on. These, Fausta, ask not this, nor thou, time's chafing prisoner, ask it now. We left just 10 years since, you say, that wayside inn we left today. Our jovial host, as forth we fare, shouts greeting from his essay chair. Aye, on a bank our leader stands, reviews and ranks his motley bands, makes clear our goal to every eye, the valley's western boundary. A gate swings to, our tide hath flowed, already from the silent road, the valley pastures one by one, and threaded quiet in the sun, and now beyond the rude stone bridge, slopes gracious up the western ridge, its woody border, and the last of its dark upland farms is past. Cool farms, with open-lying stores under their burnished sycamores, all past, and through the streets we glide, emerging on the green hillside. There climbing hangs a far-seen sign, our wavering many-coloured line, their winds upstreaming slowly still over the summit of the hill. And now in front behold outspread these upper regions we must tread. Mild hollows and clear healthy swells the cheerful silence of the fells. Some 2 hours' march with serious air, through the deep noontide heats we fare. The red grouse, springing at our sound, skims now and then the shining ground. No life, save his and ours, intrudes upon these breathless solitudes. O joy! Again the farms appear. Cool shade is there and rustic cheer. There springs the brook, will guide us down, bright comrade to the noisy town. Lingering we follow down, we gain the town, the highway, and the plain. And many a mile of dusty way, parched and road-worn, we made that day. But Fausta, I remember well, that as the balmy darkness fell, we bathed our hands with speechless glee, that night in the wide glimmering sea. Once more we tread this self-same road, Fausta, which 10 years since we trod. Alone we tread it, you and I, ghosts of that boisterous company. Here, where the brook shines near its head in its clear, shallow, turf-fringed bed. Here, whence the eye first sees far down, capped with faint smoke, the noisy town. Here sit we, and again unroll, though slowly, the familiar whole. The solemn wastes of healthy hill sleep in the July sunshine still. The self-same shadows now as then play through this grassy upland glen. The loose dark stones on the green way lie strewn, it seems, where then they lay. On this milk band above the stream, you crush them, the blue gentians gleam. Still this wild brook, the rushes cool, the sailing foam, the shining pool. These are not changed, and we, you say, are scarce more changed in truth than they. The gypsies whom we met below, they too have long roamed to and fro. They ramble, leaving where they pass their fragments on the cumbered grass, and often to some kindly pace. Chance guides the migratory race, where, through long wanderings intervene, they recognize a former scene. The dingy tents are pitched, the fires give to the wind their wavering spires. In dark knots crouch round the wild flame, their children as when first they came. They see their shackled beasts again, move browsing up the grey-walled lane. Signs are not wanting which might raise the ghost in them of former days. Signs are not wanting if they would, suggestions to disquietude. For them, for all, time's busy touch, while it mends little, troubles much. Their joints grow stiffer, but the year runs his old round of dubious cheer. Chilly they grow, yet winds in March, still sharp as ever, freeze and parch. They must live still, and yet, God knows, crowded and keen the country grows. It seems as if in their decay the laws grew stronger every day. So might they reason, so compare faster times past with times that are. But no, they rubbled through yesterday in their hereditary way, and they will rub through, if they can, tomorrow on the self-same plan, till death arrives to supersede for them vicissitude and need. The poet, to whole mighty heart, heaven doth a quiver pulse impart, subdues that energy to scan not his own course, but that of man. Though he move mountains, though his day be passed on the proud heights of sway, though he hath loosed 1,000 chains, and though he hath borne immortal pains, action and suffering though he know, he hath not lived if he lives so. He sees in some great historied land a ruler of the people stand, sees his strong thought and fiery flood roll through the heaving multitude, exults yet for no moment's space, envies the all-regarded place, beautiful eyes meet his, and he bears to admire uncravingly. They pass, he mingled with the crowd, is in their far-off triumphs proud. For some high station he looks down, at sunset on a populous town, surveys each happy ground that fleets, toil ended, through the shining streets, each with some errand of its own, and does not say, I am alone. He sees the gentle stir of birth when morning purifies the earth. He leans upon a gate and sees the pastures and the quiet trees. Low woody hill with gracious bound folds a still valley almost round. The cuckoo, low, loud, on some high lawn, is answered from the depth of dawn, and the hedge straggling to the stream, pale, dew-drenched, half-shut roses gleam. But where the further side slopes down, he sees the drowsy new-waked clown, in his white quaint embroidered frock, make whistling towards his misread flock. Slowly, behind a heavy tread, the wet-flowered grass heaves up its head. Leaned on his gate he gazes, tears are in his eyes and in his ears, the murmur of 1,000 years. Before him he sees life unroll, a placid and continuous whole. That general life which does not cease, which secret is not joy but peace, that life whose dumb wish is not missed, if birth proceeds, if things subsist. The life of plants and stones and rain, the life he craves, if not in vain. Fate gave, with chance shall not control, his sad lucidity of soul. You listen, but what wandering smile, Fausta, betrays you cold the while? Your eyes pursue the bells of foam, wished eddying from this bank their home. Those gypsies, so your thoughts I scan, are less in poet more than man. They feel not, though they move and see. Deeply the poet feels, but he breathes, when he will, immortal air, where Orpheus and where Homer are. In the days of life, whose iron round hems us all in, he is not bound. He escapes thence, but we abide. Not deep the poet sees, but wide. The world in which we live and move outlasts aversion, outlasts love, outlasts each effort, interest, hope, remorse, grief, joy, and where the scope of these affections wider made, man still would see and see dismayed, beyond his passion, widest range, far regions of eternal change. Nay, and since death which wipes out man finds him with many an unsolved plan, which much unknown and much untried, wonder not dead and thirst not dried, still gazing on the ever full, eternal mundane spectacle. This world in which we draw breath, in some sense, Fausta, outlasts death. Blame thou not therefore him who dares judge vain beforehand human cares, whose natural insight can discern what through experience others learn, who leans not love and power to know love transient power and unreal show, who treads at ease life's uncheered ways. Him blame not, Fausta, rather praise. Rather thyself for some aim pray, nobler than this, to fill the day. Rather that heart which burns in thee ask not to amuse, but to set free. Be passionate, hopes not still ill resigned, for quiet and a fearless mind. And though fate grudge to thee and me the poet's rapt security, yet they believe me who await. No gifts from chance have conquered fate, they winning room to see and hear, and to men's business not too near. Through clouds of individual strife, draw homewards to the general life. Like leaves by suns not yet uncurled, to the wise, foolish, to the world, weak, yet not weak. I might reply, not foolish, Fausta, in his eye, to whom each moment in its race, crowd as we will its neutral space, is but a quiet watershed, whence equally the seas of life and death are fed. Enough. We live. And if a life with large results so little rife, though bearable, seem hardly worth this pomp of worlds, this pain of birth, yet Fausta, the mute turf we tread, the solemn hills around us spread, this stream that falls incessantly, the strange scrawled rocks, the lonely sky, if I might lend their life a voice, seem to bear rather than rejoice. And even could the interpret prayer man iterates while these forbear, for movement, for an ampler sphere, pierce fate's impenetrable ear. Not milder is the general lot, because our spirits have forgot. In action's dizzying, eddy world, the something that infects the world.